Hey, what's up guys, it's Dan here from the Krystal Kaos TCG, and today I'm back at it again with another Krystal Showcase video. And today's Krystal Showcase video is the Storm Elemental Krystal Ventus. So guys, I didn't post a video for the last time I was to post a video, which I believe was around 2 weeks ago, because I just took a break for the holiday season. So I hope you guys all had a very Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate, and I apologize for not posting, but I wanted to spend time with my family, and I hope everybody stayed safe, had a wonderful holiday season. But let's get back into the video. So the Ventus Krystal, like all crystals, it has its own strategy, and the Ventus Krystal revolves around tricking your opponent and messing around with them. So basically just annoying the crap out of your opponents. So that's why I like Ventus, because I kind of like annoying my opponents. But besides that, the Ventus rival ability reads: when one of your Ventus creatures attacks and kills its rival, your opponent must show you one different card from their hand. So this goes along with annoying and messing around with your opponent, because you basically just get to know what they have in their hand, and if they play something, what they might play later, and that might annoy them a little bit, and it's good for you. Ventus's rivals are Terra and Lux. So that is the Ventus Krystal. Let's get on to the creatures. So the first creature is a 3-shard creature, and his name is Meerkat. He has 150 power, 220 health, and he has an ability which reads: flip over your played creatures during your opponent's turn. So this goes along with the Ventus strategy of messing around with your opponents, because if your opponent doesn't memorize or remember what your creature's health are, they will annoy them if they attack something and they can't end up killing it. So Meerkat, it's a good card to mess around with your opponent. I know my mom hates this card when I play it, because it just annoys her so much. So he's good at doing his job. The next creature is one of the super rare creatures in set 1, and it is the cover card for set 1, and his name is Thunder Dragon. And Thunder Dragon is a 7-shard creature with a massive 400 power and 310 health, which is ridiculous, and I really like his artwork a lot. That's why I made him the cover card. Also, he's really powerful, but he's one of the best cards in the game, which is why he's a super rare, and I just like him a lot. So if you pull Thunder Dragon, you're lucky, and it was a really good pull. And Thunder Dragon, he's just a really good card in general. So the next creature is a 2-shard creature, and his name is Mr. Lightning. He has 150 power and 40 health, a relatively weak creature, but it adds to the balance of the game. And I think he's a little cute with his top hat, and he's a really simple design, but I like him. Next creature we have is Nato. He is a 4-shard creature with 240 power and 130 health. And as you can see, he's a chicken in a tornado. Why is there a chicken in a tornado? I don't know, but there is, and he's got pretty good stats for a 4-shard. I mean, for power. But that is Nato. Let's move on to the next creature. So the next creature is another 4-shard creature, and his name is Scoundrel. And Scoundrel has 200 power and 250 health. Scoundrels are these guys that ride around on clouds, attacking people with their lightning sword, and when they strike somebody with their sword, the person gets struck by lightning. Scoundrel, I really like his artwork. He was actually based off of Skylanders. I used to love that game.
Skylanders of the air element are stronger in this zone.
A couple of the Skylanders he was based off of, because I just love that game and I wanted to make something based off of it. But Scoundrel, he's a pretty good card to have, since he does have a pretty good health. The next creature is a 6-shard creature, and its name is Steamalisk. And I really like the design of him, of it being like a steam dragon, and he's got like these metal parts of him that are what like actually make him his body. I like him, and he has 260 power and 260 health, which makes him an overall really great card. He's really strong in the powerful wise and health wise, so he's a really versatile creature, and it's a good card to get, and it's a really good common. So yeah, a very versatile, just powerful card in general. The final Ventus creature in set 1 might be one of the most creative, punny creatures I've made. Definitely the most creative Ventus one, I'd say, and his name is Currency. And as you can see, his name's a pun, like current, you know, like air, and currency because his ability revolves around shards, but I'll get onto that in a moment. He's a 5-shard creature with 240 power and 240 health, which is actually pretty good on its own, but his ability is where he shines. So it reads, when you gain shards at any time other than from your draw phase, this creature gains 20 power and 20 health. So the lore behind it is that he sucks in shards, and that makes him more powerful. So kind of a little bit like Gemaraka, I don't know. The idea is similar. When you gain shards, he can get up to really ridiculous powers, because if you keep doing it over and over again, especially with a card I'm going to show you next, he can get to be really, really good. So Currency is a great card to have in a Ventus deck, or a shard based deck. So maybe even in like a Terra deck, you might throw one of the Currencies in there, because Terra, as you'll see in the next Krystal Showcase video, they focus on shards. So Currency, he's a really interesting card, and he's got a pretty good ability as well. So those were all the creatures. Now I'm going to show you the support card for Ventus in set 1, and as I said earlier, this goes along with Currency, and it can help him a lot, but the card is called Banker Bird, and it's a permanent resource, and it reads, if you have a Ventus creature played, when your opponent draws a card and it isn't a Ventus creature, they must pay you 1 shard next turn. I drew him in my first ever speed art video. You could go see that. You could click, I think it's around up there, I don't know. But you can watch that speed art video. But Banker Bird, he's basically this bird that goes around collecting taxes, and yeah, as I said, he works with Currency really well. Because if you play him, you're probably playing in a Ventus deck, so you'd most likely have a Ventus creature played. But if most likely also your opponent won't draw a Ventus creature, which is very good, because basically guarantees you that they will have to pay you a shard every turn if you have a Ventus creature played. So if you have Currency played and you have Banker Bird played, so let's say you have Currency played on your field and you have Banker Bird as well. If your opponent draws a card and it isn't a Ventus creature, when they pay you the shard next turn, Currency's ability goes off, because you aren't gaining the shards from your draw phase, which is when you get 4 shards at the beginning of the turn. Your opponent actually has to pay it to you, so his ability goes off, so he gains 20 power and 20 health. And if you keep this going on, it becomes like an engine, and he can eventually get up to really great stats. So Banker Bird is a really good card to have, especially with Currency. The next card we have is another permanent resource, and it is called Ventus Storms. So this doesn't specifically go with Ventus, but I decided to throw it in here since it takes place like on the Ventus territories. So it reads, every turn the player whose turn it is must show their opponent 1 different card in their hand. So this is pretty much the same thing as the Ventus rival ability. That's why it's called Ventus Storms. So you might want to play this if you're in a Ventus deck, because it goes along with the strategy, and it might annoy your opponent or mess around with them a little bit. So that is Ventus Storms. And the next card is one of my favorite equipable cards, just because of its ability, and it is called Cursed Tiki Mask. And Cursed Tiki Mask reads, when the attached creature dies, all of the equipable cards attached to it must then attach to another creature on the same field. If there are no other creatures, kill this card. So this basically means that whatever creature you attach this to, all of the equipables attached to it stay on their field permanently until there's no other creatures. So, for example, if you play this on your opponent's creature that has something like a sketchy scientist on it, if you end up killing that creature with the sketchy scientist, or like they kill it somehow, sketchy scientist and Cursed Tiki Mask then get to attach another creature they have on their field. So it basically stays on their field forever until they have no other creatures. That is a really great ability, and it works really awesome with the Ventus Krystal because it really messes around with your opponent, and if you ever pull it off, it will annoy them so much because they won't be able to get rid of it no matter what they do unless they have no other creatures, which, I mean, you'd want to have creatures, but if you have Cursed Tiki Mask, you might not. But Cursed Tiki Mask is a really great card, especially in Ventus decks. The final card I will be showing to you today is a single-use resource card called Deep Space Portal, and it reads, send one of your opponent's played creatures back to their hand. So this is really good in Ventus decks because it messes around with your opponent. It will probably annoy them, like especially if they pay like 9 shards to play a Pandora. If you play Deep Space Portal, go like, nope, that goes back to their hand. They'd probably get pretty annoyed because they've just spent a whole lot of time saving up for them, and now they have to pay for them again. So Deep Space Portal is great if you want to annoy your opponent, and that's why it's good in a Ventus deck. So guys, thank you so much for watching the video. This was the Ventus Krystal Showcase. Next Krystal Showcase will be the Terra Krystal Showcase, which is the rock crystal. Very, very soon, I know I keep saying this, but I will be uploading a rule video. I have just completed the actual physical rule book for the Krystal Kaos. So the rules are pretty set in stone. So hopefully I will get onto making that video soon. In the comment section down below, let me know which of these cards I showed you today are your favorite, which Ventus creature is your favorite. My favorite has got to be Thunder Dragon, just because I love his artwork so much, and he's basically the representation of set 1 since he's the cover card. But again guys, thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.